In reference to Clippy.
Yeah.
He'll live. He'll live through.
I'll make it.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're live on YouTube.
Oh shit.
They will put him on.
Hey, look at that. And you even got a notification. All right, I'm there. Ow. Okay. So now we're gonna drink some beer. Maybe I'll go. I don't know if we really need to keep talking about new stuff. There's stuff I want to talk about.
I don't like the news. I just don't. I don't. No, we can skip.
Yeah.
News is depressing.
Well, not this news. This is good news.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I like what I've been
I
talking
like
about.
it.
I like good news. This is our news. Because I have some stuff. Well, one's really more of a statement. Jeff Loeb, head of Marvel TV, has said that there are plans for Daredevil Netflix all the way up to a sixth season.
Damn, what are they on that? How many are they on?
The third one's about to come out.
Okay.
Marvel Studios just commissioned a script for Dark Avengers.
Okay, don't know the story.
That's literally all there is on it so far. Nothing more than that.
Yeah.
If we want to talk about Lobo, which we don't have to, and then Jon Favreau confirmed the synopsis of the Mandalorian TV show.
Love that idea.
So
We can talk about the Mandalorian.
the Mandalorian. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much the one thing I would like to talk about because that's by far I think the most interesting. And then let's just move on.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Beer wise, I still got my Oktoberfest. Oh, what do you think of this Irish Death, yo, Brian?
Haven't tried the Irish Death. Was still finishing off the Oktoberfest. Still delicious.
Because I jizzed in my pants.
Just,
I like that
just
Irish
my
Death.
pants. It's
That's
good,
good too.
dude. All right, let's go.
No, we're going. Okay, ready? Or are we? All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, let's drink another beer and then talk about some stuff, and then drink another beer and then talk about some stuff.
Good plan.
Yeah. All right. So this next beer, it's kind of actually, sorry, Brian, it goes against our theme. It's not a blonde, but I
That's
just
cool.
got this one because it's in a growler that we got, and it's just a pint growler, and growlers don't last very long.
Right, no.
So I wanted to drink it before it went bad, and
48 hours. Right?
72
72.
usually. It's 70. The general rule is when you get a growler, you want to open it within 72 hours and finish it within 72 hours of opening it. So technically 6 days, and this is getting close to day 3. So I just want to get out of the way because
Run time.
exactly. So it's not much. It's just a pint. So it's going to be a small sampling for each of us, but I think it'll be enough to give it a good judgment. This is from Dogfish Head. Yeah.
Heard a lot about Dogfish Head. Seen them around a lot.
Just recently. They just now came to Idaho. This very month.
Oh, no, like within the last, like, I want to say like 2 to 3 months. Like, I remember being at like the outdoor gardens or something like that. It seemed like they had Dogfish Head on, like, had a lot of like local events.
Really?
I didn't see that because it was they announced it like within the last 2 weeks.
2 weeks. I don't know. It seems like I've heard of them. I don't know that necessarily.
You certainly you very well may have heard of them, and you may have heard of them just from us too, because we talk about them a lot. They're from Milton, Delaware. The founder, Sam Calagione, is the most badass dude in craft beer, hands down. He's got a lot of cool stuff on YouTube, but he's just a real pioneer. And they make pretty good beer. Their beer is a little bit on the pricier side of things, but it's also like super well made of the craziest fucking ingredients and stuff. So you always get a little extra out of it. This particular beer is their Indian Brown Scotch IPA, coming in at 7.2%. That's literally all I know about this so far. So, yeah, Indian Brown is the name of it, not the style. The style is the Scotch IPA. So this is 100% different than everything we've been drinking.
No,
right?
totally.
So, curious to see what you think on this motherfucker.
So you said what? Scotch?
IPA.
Scotch IPA?
This is Scotch IPA.
Dude, this is dark as fuck too.
Yeah, it is.
It's not like black dark, but it's definitely a dark copper brown sort of.
Yeah.
You tilt it just right, you can see through it, but it's a cool looking beer. Good amount of head on there, nice
Yeah.
brown.
And it lasts too. Stays six for a minute.
Oh, that smells good. Paula, you've been quiet. Do you want to read the
Smells
little,
like scotch.
little paragraph they got here on their website? On Seeing I Love. Most beers, sorry, Paul, before we start, we always have a real problem finding super detailed sites or beer websites. Sometimes you can't find anything at all. You go to Dogfish Head's website, they give you a full paragraph. There's a quick sip clip from Sam Calagione right there. A Dogfish dish food pairing. Both of those are videos. Like these motherfuckers
Nice.
do it.
They thought it- thought
I
this through.
love it. They take pride in their shit, dude, and I really, really respect that
What they
about them.
make for food, Joe?
Forget about the car companies. This is the original hybrid. A cross between a Scotch ale, an Indian pale ale, and an American brown. Indian brown is well hopped, malty at the same time. It's magical. That's a good paragraph.
That really is. I like that. So it's 3 different beers. Okay. Dang. This beer has characteristics of each style that inspired it. I guess let's see. That's a lot to read. If you guys want, check out their website. The reason I got this beer, it was on tap, was because I haven't seen it anywhere around town, and I didn't want to lose my window. Because I've seen a lot of their beers pop up in like bombers and 6-packs and 4-packs. Not here. Almost 200,000 check-ins, almost 125,000 ratings, and a 3.77. Let's give it a shot. What do you guys think? Talk about it.
Scotch IPA. I don't think I've ever had one.
Me either. Well, a Scotch, a brown, and an IPA. 3 of the best beers. I need a good like cleanser before this.
Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot. Dogfish Head never ceases to amaze me. I get notes of every piece of that. I get that nice brown nuttiness. I get that IPA like effervescence to it, and I get that Scotch ale just maltiness.
They all hit you differently.
Yeah,
They
well,
take their
times,
turns.
Like, yeah, the brown is first. I get the brown first,
Mhm.
and then the IPA.
Okay, and then the Scotch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Scotch.
Scotch ale. It's perfect. He is a master.
Well,
Scotch
it like
ale.
changes. It's cool because it just kind of like waves out.
Like my eyes are watering. I love this. This is an immediate favorite. First sip, immediate favorite.
It's almost like Jerry when we had that that bitches brew that he had. Like we both looked at each other with pure enjoyment and amazement. This is possible in a beer?
Right. So if you guys haven't, go back and check our Bitches Brew one-off. We have a lot of beer review videos up on YouTube. They're pretty good. Pretty funny.
Go
Pretty
watch 'em.
sexy.
Yeah.
Check them out.
I'll be the last one to rate this. I'll let you guys start. Whoever wants to.
Why don't we let Brian?
Brian comes in and I change up the tempo. Brian comes in and I change up the song.
Okay.
He's looking at me like he thinks I'm a douchebag.
I think we kept it.
So it's really like, so normally, like I would drink this beer, but I'm not like really like a casual beer drinker, right? I don't like, so it's kind of like an off chance for me. So when I do drink beer, I like to drink a lot of beer at one time. You know what I mean? I don't have much time to other drink beer. So it's like,
Know yourself?
yeah. So this is one, like, it's definitely like you got to take your time with this one. This is one to appreciate. You know what I mean? It's a really good quality beer. I can't say that I would like drink it all the time. You know what I mean? Just because this is not my style like that. But it's a beautiful beer. Like it does. Like you get each like the umami of the flavor like change through. So this is like a really like deep, like rich mahogany flavor like that comes through. And I like that. But it's like it is bitter. It's got that bitterness of that IPA that kind of it leaves you with it. I think it's a good beer.
What would you rate it?
Yeah.
Like it's well done. Even if it's not my style, it's well done. You know what I mean? So like I would say like 3.75.
Dang, that's still very respectable.
Yeah.
Right? Very respectable.
Yeah.
Do you have any pairing ideas? Just off the top of your head, I'm curious if you could.
Like it's so it's heavier.
It would have to pair with something light, I think.
No, dude, this one okay, so this one
Or
would
maybe a steak.
you'd want to go
Don't you dare. This beer is
Well,
way too good.
Yeah,
Let me
I
say-
would, you could cook with it, but for this, I wouldn't, like, if I did anything with it, I would take a bunch of it and reduce it down with like shallots and garlic and butter and some like demi-glaze and like make it into like a gravy kind of a thing. That would be what I would do, just because it does have that nutty flavor already, you know what I mean?
It's
So
a
like,
bit nutty.
and then just really concentrate it.
Awesome.
That would be really good, but like otherwise, if you were gonna drink it, you'd want to go with something like light, like a light cheese. So like,
It's all the
yeah,
cheese.
yeah, just 'cause this is a heavy, this is like in and of itself, like
Yeah, it's a heavy
sometimes
piece.
beers are just like accompaniments, but some of them are like their own, kind of their own entity. So if you're gonna pair it and you want it to like equal out, you'd want,
Well, you want the compliment.
yeah, something lighter to it. It's not like, it's a heavy beer. It's a very real, like, has substance.
It'll fill you up.
Yeah, exactly. So something light with it would be best.
Voice. Word.
Swiss.
Thanks. Yeah. I was thinking Swiss. I didn't want to say. Okay, cool. All right, nice. Go ahead, Paul. What do you got? Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian, for coming in,
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
for changing the tempo.
yeah.
Okay, what's up? I give it a 4.5. It's
Oh.
it's smooth, it's
Ooh, high roller.
bold, it's flavorful, it's very floral. It's a lot. I just went into beer. I fucking love this. I would drink this every week. This would be like my treat yourself beer.
Treat
yourself.
This one actually wasn't that bad. So between the 2 pints, oh, you didn't get to try the other one. They were $16. One was like 12, and this one I think was all. This is actually a pretty well priced one
Right.
at Tap House, and they got downtown beer prices like $5-6 or something. So it actually wasn't overly priced. This is one of the more reasonably priced Dogfish heads.
Yeah.
Voice.
Right. You know what would be good is, okay, it sounds kind of weird, but just roll with me on this.
I'm already on wheels.
Cracker, spice, pear, raspberry
Oh shit, son.
beer.
Like on a cracker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like grain, whole grain, like multi,
Okay.
like brown cracker.
Like a Britannia or
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm with
Not
you.
like a crostini, not
No,
like a
no,
brand like that. But
Yeah.
it had to be like a
Need that buttery piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm with you. Love it.
Is it weird to have a boner? It'd be
But-
weird if you didn't.
My dick's out, man. My dick's out. Yeah. We're
I love
vibing.
that
We're
episode.
vibing.
But more importantly, Paula, we haven't got to hear your rating.
You did.
4.5.
You did say a
You
4.5.
listen to me.
I thought Paula over.
Said he would
sorry.
drink it every week if he could.
I heard all that. I just literally heard everything but the rating. I'm
But
sorry.
the rating.
He likes the numbers.
He likes
I
it.
need the numbers, bro. I live for them. I crave them.
Oh man. So I'm gonna rate it. I'm gonna go 4.5 as well. I fucking love this beer. It's a fantastic, tasty beverage. Like that umami, like sort of flavor
Yeah.
profile that you were mentioning earlier, because it just changes on you. And he hits all the notes of the Scotch ale, the brown ale, and the IPA. So
I'm saying I agree with all that. I do not think it's heavy, but again, I'm a little bit more of a seasoned beer drinker than you are, Brian. I really actually really like how it sits at 7.2 and 50 IBUs. It smells phenomenal. I want to turn it into a goddamn body wash and bathe in this shit. It tastes phenomenal. I'm going to buy this every time I see it. If I can't find it in like their 4-packs or whatever, I'm going to go growler hunting for this motherfucker. It's a 4.75.
Ooh.
I love this. It is
What's
a
up with that?
glorious, glorious
What's up
beverage.
with
The
that?
best a man can get.
Look at you.
Look at you.
Okay, so one bit of news while we finish this up before we kind of move on to our comic book characters with science-related accidents. I don't think it'll be too much because it's just kind of coming out, but one thing I've been pretty excited for is the Mandalorian show, which I believe is going to be on the Disney streaming service.
Really?
I think so.
Okay.
I might be wrong on that. I actually should fact check that. I don't know. But what I do know is the synopsis because I follow Jon Favreau on Instagram and I saw this. As long as the picture of it, they haven't cast the lead yet, but everybody is thinking it's Raul Pascal. Is that his name? Did you guys ever watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
The Viper.
Right.
The one that the mountain rips his skull in twain. Spoiler alert. It's like the most violent, god awful thing I've ever seen in my life.
When they're
He was
dueling?
fucking, yeah. He was fucking great in this show.
Okay.
It was one, actually, I only watched season 4 of Game of Thrones, but this
Oh,
guy
what?
is hands
Oh.
down my favorite character that I saw in it.
Sorry.
He was right towards the end, but he was a bad motherfucker.
Dude.
But I think this guy's going to be the main Mandalorian.
Guys,
He's great. He was also in the sequel to The Kingsman.
Am I right on the name?
Yeah, Raul Pascal.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice.
But anyway, so here's the exact description on his Instagram page. It says, after the stories of Jango and Boba Fett, another warrior emerges in the Star Wars universe. The Mandalorian is set after the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order. We follow the travails, and that's how we spell it, Travails, of a lone gunfighter in the outer reaches of the galaxy from the authorities of the New Republic.
Not sure what the French spelling on the word travels is, but okay.
Right? That's what I thought. I don't know if that's a typo or if he used a word I don't understand. Travails. But other
So
than
in
that hang up, it's a totally new story to the Star Wars universe.
yeah.
Which I'm okay with.
Right. So, okay. So one more time on the timeline. Let's go back for our data, kind of figure it out. So
Set after the
Boba-
fall of the Empire and
Okay.
before the emergence of the First Order.
Okay.
So in between.
Right. Yeah. Right in between what? Jedi and
The
Force
new
Awakens?
shit. Pretty, yeah, Force Awakens.
Yeah.
So right in between that.
Okay.
So it has a whole world to play with. So is it going to be, did Boba have a kid?
Okay.
I
Well, okay.
wonder if he's still going to be alive.
So here's the question, because when did, okay, going like to nerd out on it, right? When did the lore of the Mandalorian Wars, like when was the first
Don't know
time you
enough
heard of
about it.
Mandalorian Wars referred to? Because I'm sure, I know I've heard it,
2004? 2000, actually probably closer to 2002 for me.
because I feel like there was a story there, like, was that Qui-Gon Jinn saying something about the Mandalorian
I
Wars?
remember it from a book. When I was in elementary school to 8th grade, I probably read 12
Right.
different Star
Right,
Wars
yeah.
novels. And I remember loosely Mandalorian Wars
So-
being, but I didn't read much on that one specifically.
So I never read any of those books, but I have buddies who did.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I don't know if that was like, if that's like actual canon kind of a thing, or, you know, if it's actually like the case, or if that's just, if that's from the movies or that's from the books. But
Sure.
I've heard about the Mandalorian Wars. So that's super intriguing, but it's still, I kind of wanted like, I wanted to know about the Mandalorian Wars, like how many more, you know, because what, Jango and Boba so far are the only ones you know that are Mandalores, right? Aside from, I don't know about the books.
Well,
There's
no,
more.
we know they're a whole race.
Right.
We know that. We just don't, they're the only two Mandalorians that we know anything about
Right,
without going into like the novels and the comic books and stuff like that.
right,
Your average Star Wars watcher or viewer is not going to know anything about them.
right. So it kind of leaves open.
And
you know,
even most of them don't know anything about Jango and Boba.
Right.
other,
No
than,
one, you know,
other than, God, his costume's so dumb.
right.
But he dies like a bitch. Both of them.
But, you know, how do you know what really happened? You know, like,
Actually, technically,
I don't think he
Star
died
Wars,
in the Sarlacc.
he did actually canon, he did not.
You see,
He did
yeah.
not die, so he
Well,
actually
we
did
know what
escape.
really happened.
But he still fell in like a bitch. But he did escape. That's
Yeah,
true.
he did. Well, it's crazy. Like when you're a child, everything is great, and Boba Fett is this menacing figure, and then you see pictures of that dude who's actually Boba Fett in the movies, and you're like, oh my god,
Bitch.
really? Like
You look like the lead singer of some
Yeah.
emo band.
Hubert
You
from
look
accounting.
like Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Did you see his like? I'm
Go to a
not
Broadway show. Don't go assassinate
Yeah.
somebody.
trying to hate on him, but dude, who's just like super nerd. Like, did you pay your quarterly taxes? Like, you go
He
put
was
Boba
definitely
Fett now.
Definitely a Crossing Guard in junior high.
Yeah, and I
Hall
was just like,
monitor.
oh man, that's what the unstoppable Boba Fett. This is who he is. Fucking Ken from accounting.
His name was Bob. He just
He's
added
just
the A to sound
Sitting there
better.
under his fucking helmet,
Church
like,
it up all you want, that.
yeah, like you should really be careful. It's really dangerous up here. Like that's Boba Fett.
Right.
Oh Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, it's really high. But what if the rocket explodes? Like
I shouldn't have
I'm
worn my
wearing
jetpack.
it. but I'm wearing it. It's
Oh,
fucking soul
God.
crushing, man.
I'll watch the show though, unless it's on the Disney.
Oh,
Network, 'cause
absolutely
I don't
I'll
know if
watch
I'm
it,
gonna
yeah.
get the Disney streaming service. We'll
I got
see.
kids. I'm gonna
I don't got kids.
It's gonna happen.
totally.
Shall we move on? Move it on up to the main topic. So we're gonna be talking about our favorite. It doesn't have to be a favorite, just a character that intrigues us within comic books, any comic book, really, that got their powers from some sort of science experiment, accident thing gone awry. We're gonna be pretty loosey-goosey, because, I mean, it's talking about comic books, so
Right.
can't really have that tight of rules. But essentially, we're gonna do one villain, one superhero, or whatever they want. You know, I'm not in charge of these three.
Yeah.
Break it down, see if we agree, see if we disagree.
And yeah, well, Brian's, aside from being just an amazing chef, he is also,
Not
he
really.
loves science. And we just figured, why not talk science about superheroes and see if he just fucking would just say, fuck you.
He's one of the smarter sciencey people for sure. Kind of a modern day Carl Sagan without a TV show or
I'm
PhD
not that smart. but
or PhD.
I don't get the math. I get the theory. I don't get the math.
So I guess let's see. Paula, go.
Oh, me? Oh.
Just one. You don't do both. We'll each do one and then swap them there.
T power.
TURTMP power.
Are we
Heroes in a
starting
half shell.
Are we starting out with heroes or are we doing villains? Doesn't matter.
Whatever. It don't matter.
I'm sort of a
I
wild
mean,
card.
is there a difference?
Wild card. Sometimes.
Good call, Brian.
But sometimes that line's a little blurrier than we think.
Ride the snake, bro.
Right. It's
Right.
Got weird. Or did it get great?
I love
It
that
got
sketch.
amazing.
I'm fucking happy people know that sketch. I can't even use that reference anymore because nobody fucking gets it.
Well, you're hanging out with cool
Yeah.
people,
I
Brian.
remember Jim Carrey like sitting there in those truck beads from like back in
Dude.
the early '90s and late '80s. Those
Dude.
truck beads, wearing it as a suit, like ride the snake.
Well,
No one
just,
fucking gets that. No one gets that reference.
I just when it was probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, Jessica had never heard of In Living Color.
Oh,
So I had to.
No
She
way.
grew up in a
Oh,
very
man.
tight conservative Christian household, so she was sheltered from a lot of these people or a
Watching
lot of
that
these things.
early.
So I went on YouTube and there's a fuck ton of it.
Yeah.
So I had to show her fucking so much Homie Claus, Fire Marshal Bill,
No.
Verico.
Oh, so many, like,
I
yeah.
said that. I was like,
The Wanda.
it's not Jim Carrey, it's James
James
Carrey.
Carrey.
Did you know how many fucking Wayans there were in that
Yeah.
show?
4.
Jennifer Lopez
No, I
was
think it's
Flacco.
more than
Yeah.
exactly.
No, and you know who I loved, and it was kind of, I don't know if anyone else got it, but like David Allen Greer.
Oh yeah, Tommy Lee Davidson,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
We're so
Tommy
great.
Davidson.
Yeah,
Oh, dude.
Tommy Lee Davidson.
The Wayne's bros, man.
Yeah.
And the Wayne sister.
Yeah.
Kim Wayans?
Yeah.
she's the Wayans. I had to box that song. Don't tell me.
But
I-
about
but
that.
yeah, you know, I remember it being on, like, oh, because it was like, to me, it was like, oh, hey, this is Black Saturday Night Live and it's better.
All day.
Right. Right.
Dude,
And
my
I can
brothers
watch
and
it all
sisters.
week.
Yeah, my brothers and sisters and I, we lived for that time, dude. Oh,
Dude,
days
and I
of
remember the
weekend.
same thing too. When, like, you catch the new SNL. I was watching it in living color.
Right, yeah, no,
That shit was great.
Like, so many references, like, I just pull, like, so many, I'm kind of a retarded parrot, and it's like, I just tend to just regurgitate things that I've seen that I can remember. And so many of my quotes come from that show, just that, like, you wouldn't get, like, unless you had actually, like, watched the show.
It is. It's so hard for me every time I want to do something instructional, rather it's like judo or pool or masturbating or whatever. I just want to be like,
Right.
let me show you something. Let me show you something.
Or no, like, a favorite one is like, okay, so I was probably like 10 years old, 11 years old, watching the reruns, like, or watching Living Color and watching all the
Yeah.
reruns back in the day. And I didn't, sometimes, when you're young, like, I grew up in Montana, man.
Wow, yeah.
You just get the same type of people. So, like, when you're young, you see shit and you're like, oh, I don't get it. And then you grow older and you're like, oh, hey,
Oh,
this is the real personification. This has taken form as a consciousness.
Mhm.
And just the one of, I forget, like, the Damon Wayans character, because I love Damon Wayans, but his whole character of, like,
Easy on the pounding potato.
Oh, sorry. It was like it was doing like an interview, and this is like, let us not exacerbate the length of which that is my incarceration. You know what I mean? And it's like just,
Oh, yeah,
the dude who threw in words,
all day.
all
Yeah.
day. You know what I mean? And then I found this person in real life, and I was like, holy
That's a
shit,
real person.
you exist. Like,
Exactly.
Everything you see is inspired by somebody
Right, yeah,
on
it
one
came
of
from
those
somewhere.
shows.
but that was
Oh,
my
man.
favorite one. It was just
Now I
like,
want to watch Blank Man.
right? I love
Yeah,
Blade.
you do.
You can't even, you can't fucking do Blade Man.
You
Jim.
can't that bitch.
Yeah,
Oh
you
no,
do it.
dude. There's so much from that.
And
you
so
can't
much
do.
sad. Yeah, and I was even watching snippets of it where it was like, what was it, Handyman? That was David Wayans.
Oh, yeah.
And his character is hilarious. Like, great character.
Can't do it.
It is like 2018 blackface, like doing it. Like, it's kind of become that. Like,
Mhm.
and that sucks because that's a whole level of humor that like you had not cool anymore. Like,
Times have changed.
Well, it is, and it's like not that long ago.
right.
Like I was telling Vic a while ago, I'm a huge wrestling fan. Everybody knows that. So I have the WWE Network mostly so I can go back and watch a lot of old '90s wrestling
Right.
that I didn't get to watch, or I'm feeling nostalgic. I want to watch some, old WCW or something. And I was watching a few month ago or whatever it was. I was just on a Booker T run. I love Booker
Oh,
T.
right. Okay.
So it's some Harlem Heat, some Stevie Ray and Booker T versus I cannot remember right now. But either way, I just remember when like Booker T and Stevie somebody came after them, so they were beating them up on the outside of the rails, and the commentator just goes, bad boys, what you gonna do?" It was just so fucking race, and I was just like, "Oh, you could."
Oh, no, it gets
God
bad.
damn it!
Dude.
And that's like a very gentle version of racism in wrestling
Yeah,
20
no.
years ago, man.
It's so bad. I even ordered like, because I remember like, okay, so when I was in like elementary school and stuff, sometimes they show like Disney cartoons randomly if there was like a holiday.
Sure, yeah, right.
Like,
Will in the
Halloween,
TV.
here's Ichabod Crane.
Indoor recess.
You know what I mean? Yeah, here's Ichabod Crane, like the old Disney commercial, the old Disney
Oh, yeah.
movie. Like Johnny Appleseed. You know what I mean?
course,
Do you
yeah.
remember that
Tall
one?
tales, man.
Guess what? All fucking lies.
All day.
Johnny Appleseed is all lies. And if you
Goddamn
go
asshole.
back and you watch it, you'll fucking figure it out. Like you have to know it. Okay, you want to know? Okay, can I take a minute and unravel your childhood,
Do it.
Why not?
like just for fun?
Yeah.
So like when you go back, so Johnny Appleseed, right?
It's
John
fun,
Carpenter,
fun.
like the American lore of it, but like think of the lore of it, right? Paul Bunyan,
Mhm.
Johnny Appleseed,
John Henry.
John Henry, Davy Crockett,
Yeah.
all these like found the pioneers of our country,
Straight up.
all this shit.
They're all lies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know about all. I don't know about that, but I know about this John Carpenter one, this Johnny Appleseed that like, during the whole thing, because like I ordered the movies. I was so jacked to have a son
Oh, yeah.
to like show him some of the stuff that like I watched when I was a kid that I thought was cool. And you go back and you watch it as an adult, and it is fucked up.
Yeah.
Right. It is crazy fucked up. Like you find out. So I remember watching Johnny Appleseed, and they're like, "Oh, you could make what? Apple tarts and apple pies and apple dumplings." Okay, but here's the thing: is that the fucking species of apple that Johnny Appleseed planted across the Midwest, they were inedible. You can't eat them. Like the only purpose of those apples is to make mashed liquor.
Oh, totally.
So the whole thing, like the whole premise is, oh, he's planting apples for the pioneers, like settling the land. Here's America, your foundation pioneers America,
He's
and
in to get drunk.
it's just as motherfucker can make hooch.
Yeah.
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 I love that, though.
Like it's almost like it's one of the first ones you're like, you bet not it too.
That might, that's one of those things
Yeah.
that it might hurt your childhood, but it helps your adulthood.
No, it doesn't. You go
You're
back.
like, I get it.
Okay, now go back. Okay, because you can find people of the internet. You can find this video on YouTube. You can watch it. Go back and watch it. When he's there picking all the apples at his cabin in the original, right? The very beginning of it, the only tools you see is like a kettle and a big old like screw-driven masher.
Yeah, he wore the kettle as a hat. Yeah,
Right.
after
Well, and the
his
kettle, kettle is everything, but like
Mhm.
you can see just a masher where you just juiced all the apples so that you could make your mash.
Yeah.
So it's like you go back and you're like, God damn, that just ruined your whole fucking childhood. Like, That was the Sarah McLachlan ASPCA commercial
Oh
from
my
like
God.
your fucking childhood. Like, here's the truth about that story. And you're just like, oh, God damn it. Like, you're always disappointed because you're like, oh, of course. You know, of course it is Sharon.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, Sharon.
Hey, Sharon.
Hey,
Fucking
hey,
bitch.
hey, Sharon.
Sharon.
Ruin everything.
Sharon.
Okay, and Paula, go.
What?
Back to what we were
Go.
talking about.
What were we talking
I
about?
re-
This is like the
Back
most
North West Side.
tangenty
Sorry.
podcast we've ever. No, it's great. I love it.
Back to us nine.
That was pretty
Back
fun.
We're some Crouch Keepers 3.
Makes it look like Johnny versus Ford.
The superheroes based around science or yada yada yada. Something about science.
Exactly.
Okay, well, actually, I don't know if mine was actually a comic book character. I chose a TV show character.
Okay.
I chose Ultraman. You
Ultraman.
guys remember Ultraman? Do you remember Ultraman, bro?
No,
You remember- Hey, can you pull up the spandex?
Yeah.
So-
is this Tanuk Tanuk?
What is this? This is like a Japanese anime.
It's a live action.
Live
It's
action.
live action.
Oh, see, this, again,
Oh,
okay,
where
so
were
previous
we that
conversation
we-
about this. Why? Why are we doing live action? Like,
Cause yeah.
your scientists stop thinking about if they should.
Oh,
In the
dude, this was
60s.
live action. Yeah, I was gonna say.
oh.
See, okay, look at this. Look at this motherfucker. He's a giant. He's as
Okay.
tall as a tree or,
Okay.
or a couple-story building.
Okay,
Couple stories.
new story.
That's my Ultraman. Okay, so straight up, the story's so zany.
Oh.
It's based in the 60s. Hayate is a Japanese science worker / soldier. He works for the Science Patrol for Earth to help protect the Earth from essentially kaiju.
Mhm.
So that's the premise of the show.
Pacific Rim kaiju. Is that
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
is?
basically.
yeah.
Well,
Monsters,
Giant
monsters.
demon.
Monsters.
Kaiju a bit. It's Japanese for monster. Well, I mean
Giant
Godzilla's
Before
face.
time,
Yeah.
before time,
Well.
And so Hayate is just in space, fucking flying a spaceship, as you do, you know.
That's
Lazy
what
Sunday.
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
What's this
I
one?
flew a spaceship today.
Ultraman is actually looking for a person who escaped from prison. It's like space prison or some shit. I'm really dumbing this down.
Ooh.
So he's coming out, and then he accidentally hits Hayate's ship, and Hayate dies. And Ultraman's like, I feel bad for you. He's kind of like, if anything, like a celestial, but like a low-grade celestial.
Okay.
And he's like, I'm gonna give you back your life, so I just combine myself with you. Together we become Ultraman, which can turn into
Wait.
basically a Megazord.
Does Hayate know karate?
Well, the thing is, Ultraman's already like a low-level soldier, so he knows how to punch and kick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like what in alien terms that may be.
I mean, he's Japanese, so he probably knows some martial art.
Hayate, he grew up. Yeah, he grew up doing that. He grew up on the streets of fucking Tokyo.
Like all Chinese people know kung fu, right?
And then- But the thing is, he majored in drifting.
Oh, so he's the DK.
He's a DK. He's drifting. Why not enough? We can talk about Fast and Furious all day. Can we do that?
Wait,
I'm okay to switch it up.
which video are you talking about, real quick? Just with that Drift King reference?
That would be
Fast
Fast.
and the Furious
Tokyo
3,
Drift.
Tokyo Drift.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's the reference you're talking about. Is the original one?
The third one.
Third one.
Okay, no. I get it.
Yeah.
With,
Okay, Ryan,
What?
please open a new tab. Okay, just so you know, that whole reference means something entirely different to me.
What am I searching, man?
You're searching DK, Drift King wheelchair.
What's
It's gonna be a short video. Yeah, that's probably it right there.
we'll watch that later.
Watch it right now. It's 27 seconds. You will not regret it.
All right. Let's see if we can make this happen.
We have the volume on there muted
Oh, that's true.
for a reason.
Oh, sorry.
Yep, we'll get to it. I can't turn it back.
Oh,
on.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, but no, it does that music. You gotta look it up. Damn it.
Okay, we'll
Damn
try
it.
that.
Okay.
Just play the video, just to look at it. You know what the sound is. So you already know the soundtrack.
Okay. So I got a young Snoop Doggy Dogg
Drift
cousin.
King.
Isn't that old Lil something?
Lil Bow Wow.
Lil
Yeah.
Bow Wow.
Is he still alive?
So you know how it goes in the movie.
He's old.
Okay, you know
Goddamn. Goddamn.
Oh my god!
So just
Goddamn.
know that that whole scene, you went there.
Goddamn.
Oh,
Goddamn.
That's where I was.
That was worth it.
solid.
That was worth all of it. Oh my
I'm
god.
Sorry.
I didn't even
And
need the
it's-
music.
And
it
it's
was
better
great.
with sound, once you know the move part of the
Goddamn.
movie.
Yeah, I have it in my head.
Let's just cut this whole.
Goddamn.
Sorry. Sorry. You just had to see it. That was brilliant.
So anyway, Ultraman is combined with Hayate, and he protects the Earth. Now, Ultraman has the powers that have all powers. So imagine that.
So he's ultra powerful.
So he's
Yeah.
Superman?
Teleports,
Oh,
fucking,
yeah.
you know, fucking fast and strong, and knows karate and judo and fucking Krav Maga.
Bushido. No,
Yeah.
So he sounds like this is a low-level celestial?
Yes, essentially.
Is it just because he can't alter reality that makes him that? That seems like a pretty badass motherfucker.
How do you give your power to, like, I don't know, he's saying, I feel like they fusion Dragon Ball Z style.
Okay,
I don't
little
get that.
firestorm.
No, like, I don't know how you got the power to do that, yeah.
Oh, that's what you don't get.
And, you know, I kind of, I don't know, like, when you look at him, this is his skin / armor. This is his real face.
How long did that show? Oh, really?
Yeah.
How long did that show run? Do you know?
There are several different versions of this particular show.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
I feel like
Yeah.
it ran for probably 20 years.
We're
Too
too
long.
good, too damn long.
Yeah.
Too damn long. Yeah. Nothing, I don't suggest you guys watching this at all.
Hmm.
At all.
Interesting. I felt like I had a DVD of it at one point.
Yes.
Really?
I think you gave it to me.
I think I did.
I
I
still
don't
have
even
it.
know where I
Oh.
got that from.
Still got it.
Yeah, so the original air date of Ultraman was in 1967, so it's been going for a good portion of time.
Is it still going?
No.
Yeah.
Is it on running
I don't know.
to this very day?
No.
It
Okay.
could.
It shouldn't be.
Okay.
But this is sort of like the precursor for, like, you know, just like
Power Rangers and
Right.
But
Roller
overall,
Coaster.
overall, like, I don't know if you know what a celestial is, Brian, but it's essentially like a demigod or a god, if you will, whatever it may be,
Well,
in space.
yeah.
You know, so he
Space
basically,
god.
this person combined, space god combined with this person, this other being,
Okay,
and then became a superhero
okay.
to defend us.
From the universe.
I mean, you can't not be mad at that, right?
I ain't mad at that. It just, okay, makes sense, right? But like, so like the science of it, right?
There's no science behind this at all.
Oh,
There's no
no.
backing behind it by any means.
So, okay,
Like a
so
pauper
he's
or
a symbiote.
That's kind of what I was wondering
You
too.
could,
I was
I
like,
guess
where's
you
the
could say something
science?
like that, yeah.
Yes, he's a symbiote, like, so it's either, because he's either be like a xenomorph or like a symbiote, kind of thing. But since he merged, since he did the Vulcan mind meld, you know what I
You can
mean?
go to and fro, yes.
Right. Kind of seems like though, if you were a being of that could do that, and you had that power to manipulate space time in such a way that like the existence and like life of
It
that
seems-
dude is meaningless.
Seems to me like it's neither comic book nor science.
No,
But, like,
But
I
that was
get
my
it.
first choice, though.
But I get
Like,
it's like relevance. Like I
it's
get
a
it's
science
relevance.
patrol.
And I want to watch it because it's gonna be like, you know, like it's gonna be like original Power Rangers where they got this. Like,
It's essentially, yeah, what
Yeah.
it is.
I
What you
respect
got
that.
for us.
Oh, for me, it was a toss up for me. But heroes, I'm gonna go with the Flash. It was between him and Cyborg, but I wanted to go with the Flash. So Barry Allen, he was a basically we all know the story. He was a forensic scientist working at the police department. And a mysterious bolt of lightning comes and hits Barry Allen. That hits him and mixes with a series of chemicals that we're not 100% sure of. I'm sure it's written down somewhere.
I
Get
doubt
at
it.
me.
I doubt it.
Somebody figured it out,
man,
I'm
go.
sure. Yeah.
It's redacted.
It's redacted. Yeah. So basically, he gets hit with a bolt of lightning, and that bolt of lightning mixes with these chemicals, hits Barry Allen. Barry Allen goes comatose for a fair amount of time, 6 months, maybe a year. I don't know. It changes
A
based on
while,
the
though,
war.
right?
A good amount of time. And after that, he gets super speed. He gets this mysterious connection to the Speed Force, where he's able to have a frictionless aura, where he's able to travel basically faster than light. And he can go forward in time. He can go backwards in time. He can gift his speed to somebody else. He can take speed from other
He
people.
can go so fast, he can
phase
vibrate
through-
through walls.
He can technically phase through items like quantum teleportation, aka quantum tunneling.
He's been poisoned, and there are times where he just vibrated so fast he just pretty much threw all the poison out of his body.
Yeah, he reverse sublimation in some way. I don't know.
So there's some science
Two
to it.
points, 2 points.
Sure.
But the X factor for sure is the speed force.
the Speed Force is
The
the
speed force
X
is God.
Exactly. He's
actually
basically with
cooler than
every
that.
step that he runs, he creates like positive speed force, where he's able to continue to mainline this extra dimensional energy that allows him to travel faster than light.
Right, but it also makes it to where, say, if there's a burning building, he can run in 30 seconds and get 200 people out of the building without them bursting into flames from such incredible friction on there. So it creates like this protection aura.
That frictionless aura. Yeah.
Mm.
And there are also villains who pull from the Speed Force as well.
Mhm. You see a whole
Several.
bunch. Yeah, like that's why I said like with every step
It's a
he
whole
creates
thing,
speed
yeah.
force, but there's a reverse Flash you create with every step that he takes. He creates reverse speed force energy. So it's like this weird counterbalancing thing that happens within the universe. Very interesting stuff. I like it from a scientific standpoint because Barry Allen himself is a scientist as a whole. He's a
One of the
great
best,
scientist.
in fact.
Yeah. Great.
So, okay, so the idea of time is funny.
It's very relative to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But so the thing is with B is that if he, so the only thing that differentiates you between what is like real time is light, you know what I mean, between what's going on and how long that light takes to travel. So if he can traveling faster than the speed of light, I want, obviously, I would like to know more about that. You know what I mean? How would you even, I get that there's like the speed force, but like if you were faster than the speed of light, then that means that you could stop things before they ever happen. So you'd be the hero that would do all the things that you could possibly do and no one would ever know you
So
existed.
one thing that's quite interesting about that is that's true, but he still has, like a lot of things, there are splinters and there are consequences.
Right,
But
right.
there also are these things within the Speed Force called time rates that try to keep it aligned, where if you do decide to get to, I can control time, they will come after you, and they've actually killed several speedsters for trying to
For doing
essentially
that.
manipulate
That-
timelines.
that's a good
So
way to control
there
that,
actually is things in place to kind of create a balance. The
Yeah.
Speed Force is in my opinion, single most fascinating thing in all of comics.
It's amazing. Yeah, if we can see if I can pull up this infographic, which actually like puts the Speed Force on.
Because it is, I mean, Speed Force is it's space time.
Well, it's the X factor. It's
Right.
really what you kind of it's your reasoning for the unexplainable.
right,
essentially.
right. Your dark matter.
Right.
That's your dark energy, your dark matter. We don't know what it is. We just know that the math says it exists.
And for me, it comes with just the whole metahuman thing. So with essentially in this whole New 52 era, anyway, the Flash basically became the first metahuman. And
Right.
he created the Speed Force, in which is powering him,
Correct.
and then it just pulls.
Well,
He's so fucking powerful.
and I
it's
love that.
ridiculous.
And
I'm
it's
sorry.
not just that. When they decided to do their rebirth after that, the whole character single-handedly responsible for it again was the Flash. It is. He's more powerful than Superman, in my opinion.
Right, right. Because Superman is still just a man, but you're getting.
Well,
The
no,
idea-
Superman is not a man.
Well, okay. So
Superman is
Superman
something
is
else,
just an
but
alien.
to me, it's they say if an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, what happens? Well, I'll tell you what happens. There's no such thing as an unstoppable or an immovable object.
Right,
It just doesn't exist. What happens is the unstoppable force wins.
right. Yeah, you just changed the relativity.
That's what happened, And Flash he would punch Superman's head off.
Yeah, well, and to the point where he would do it, and not even Superman wouldn't even know that it
Yeah.
happened.
In real life, that's one of those things, the explosion and aftermath that something like that would cause. You would have to do it on some like barren planet, somewhere
Right.
far,
Right.
several galaxies over, and maybe in a butt.
Yeah, no, it's the
Definitely
Speed
the
Force is
boy.
magical. So you're looking at this infographic that basically encompasses the entire DC universe, and it shows you like these are the different dimensional energies that are happening in that world right now. Seems complicated, and we also have the multiverse in play. That's what these numbers are.
Right, right.
Yeah, which is kind of nuts. So it's kind of amazing, and you see the source wall that encompasses the entirety of the outside of it, right? So It's just nuts, man. It's very powerful. That accident imbued him with so much power and energy. It is beyond me. I'd like to give you like a graphic novel. It's called The Flash, The Human Race, and it really shows you how amazing this
Right,
force
I would
is.
totally read that, because
Oh, I
just
got
the
it.
idea that kind of control, or even just that entity existing,
Mhm.
you know, and kind of what it could, the greatest part about like science and stuff like that isn't what it is, but what its implications are. So it's
Exactly.
everything that like roots down as a result of that. So that's like super.
And then sometimes what it could be.
Yeah,
Too.
right.
If you think about that, I mean, Star Trek's the best example for that. But a lot of times in comics book, there have been these things that seem super fantastical, and then 20 years later, it's commonplace.
Right,
Things
right.
like
No,
you know,
this is a
cell
known thing
phones
now.
and video dialing and you know file formats that are on things other
Well,
than
okay.
floppy disks.
So I wrote a paper on this, and the thing is, so back in English class, I wrote a paper on this about this my sci-fi reality. You know what I mean? Because also at the same time is that once you create an idea of this kind of a thing existing, aren't you planting the seed then? You know what I
Right.
mean?
And
Like,
some of the
Yeah,
other
okay.
universities.
Oh, okay, so, you know, like Bradbury, 451, talking about just the walls of infographics, you know what I mean? But like we have TVs built in the walls, you know what I mean? But it is it so much that, oh, hey, this happened, but it's like, okay, would this have happened if that had not had described it? And like what it would look, would it have come about naturally, or would it, you know, is that like, oh, hey, that's a great idea, flying cars, you know what I mean? Let's make it a reality, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like that. Abraham begat so and so begat like one idea just chaining behind another, like in logical sequence over time.
Yeah. Incredible.
So my character is Daredevil.
Okay.
I like Daredevil. He's the man without fear. The devil of Hell's Kitchen, also known as Matthew Michael Murdoch. Or
That's what all the girls say.
right. So a lot of us kind of know the story of Daredevil to an extent. You know, he was the son of, and I'm doing this all off the top of my head because somebody threw away my goddamn Daredevil notes.
He did himself.
Probably was.
Yeah.
I would never do such a thing. His father was a boxer, Battling Jack Murdoch. He was a pretty good boxer, not a great boxer, but good enough to be able to feed his family off of it, essentially. Couldn't really do anything else in life. And then Matt's like, that boxing shit's cool. I want to do it. And his dad's like, nah, you should be better than this. You should be like maybe a lawyer or something. And it's like, nah, that's silly, man. I want to hit things. So of course it didn't work out, but like most rebellious kids, he's sitting there always training in the background and shit. And when he was about 16, he actually got pretty good at it. But when he was 16, there's this old man crossing the street. And he goes, oh no, there's this wildly large truck coming at you. You're gonna get hit. So he runs out in the crosswalk, pushes the old man. The truck sees it, it tips over and spills radioactive chemicals all over the place. Immediately cover Matt, get in his eyes, blinds him instantly. But also does a whole bunch of other stuff. Like one thing it does is it goes down into the sewer. And in that sewer, there are these 4 little turtles.
Turtles,
right?
turtles, and a rat, and a rat,
And a rat.
crusty old rat.
It is best origin story link of all time right there. But he gives them absolutely absurd reflex ability. So this is one thing where it comes very literal with science because literally all we know about it are radioactive chemical barrels.
Right.
Nothing more than that.
No more details.
So,
I mean,
what else?
in the
You're
Cold
right.
War,
In the
that's all you
Cold
got.
War.
It's uranium or plutonium. Or
Precisely.
the fucking Russians.
So it blinds them, but then it gives them all these incredible senses. You know, they always say if you lose one sense, all your others amplify, but it goes way more beyond that. Apparently, it hits the parts of his brain and amplifies reflex agility and all his other, it's essentially basic senses.
Mhm.
So he's not like necessarily metahuman level. So he doesn't have like by any stretch of the imagination flash speed or superhuman power.
Right.
He still has vulnerabilities, but when it comes to the average man, he's by far better than
Right.
you know
And
a gold
hence-
medal gymnast,
Enhance.
Olympic gymnast or something. Enhance.
Mm-hmm.
But I do really love the way they go into his powers because they do put a lot of things into it, like not necessarily echolocation, but sonar and what he can do with sound and things bouncing off of him.
Okay.
And his sense and he's so sensitive. Like, I printed out my notes on paper here. He could put his hands over it and read because of the ink and know exactly what it is. So he doesn't need Braille. But there's one thing that can foil him. Fucking laminate.
Laminate.
You laminate that fucking paper and all of a sudden you can't feel the ink anymore and you can't read it.
Really?
Foiled by laminate.
Foiled by laminate.
Ain't that a bitch,
Right.
right?
Also loud
One of those
noise.
things.
Yeah.
This is one of those things by Daredevil. I love him so much. Most people don't know he's blind. Even canon in the comic book, there are like
Right.
4 people that know he's blind. Even
Okay.
most superheroes think he can see.
Seems
So
like
they don't really know that, but it is, again, really loud noises will do that. They'll throw him off, and really strong odor, something super stinky, will do it too. But I mean, it has to be next level sort of thing. So it is. Those are things that are kind of silly to me because some levels he's the most badass dude on the planet, and other things it's like you got
that would
foiled by
yeah,
a skunk
makes sense. I mean,
and a fire alarm.
Yeah.
So that is, but again, if you don't know, that's not one of those things you're going to go
Right.
after. But other than that, he's hands down one of the best martial artists in the Marvel universe, maybe the best. Like I do love in the Defenders when Iron Fist, who's supposed to be one of the best, comes at Charlie Cox, aka Daredevil, and he just makes him look like a bitch.
The whole day.
It was a fucking great scene.
Mhm.
But he's super smart. He did grow up to become a lawyer. Funny enough.
right. I remember that.
But it's just, I really like Daredevil because he's one of the most well-written characters, I think, too, especially if you're out at your local comic book store, you're online, and you're searching Daredevil comic, and the writer says Frank Miller, get that shit. It's before he went nuts. And there's something about his Daredevil runs where they're better than anything he's ever written, I think. It's got great villains. It's super gritty, but yeah, that's my pick pretty much is fucking Daredevil. I can't remember what else I had because
I got a question, sir. So you're walking down the street and you get doused by some chemical, we'll call it chemical X.
Chemical X, sure.
What are your superpowers? Right.
Well, that's the thing. You never get to choose.
I'm just saying right now, you
But
choose.
if you did
get
get to
one.
choose,
Oh, man. See,
Top of your head. Tip of your dick.
3, 2.
just space time.
Ooh.
It's literally
And so is that like teleporting?
everything is
No,
just
it's too much. It can't be. It has to be a like. You can't go all grand. You're not a celestial. Super speed, flight, strength, teleportation, invulnerability, invisibility,
honestly. I think I
mind read.
if you were gonna do anything like that, I think the most just bare powerful thing is just you gotta do Wolverine's to immediate regen.
Regeneration.
Ooh,
That's a
yeah,
great one. That's
yeah,
a great choice. I like that.
yeah.
Good answer.
Nice.
You can go yeah. I mean, same thing. Like I remember when I first read the Wolverine, it was just like, oh, he's got the claws. No, the claws is incidental. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, the thing is
Yeah. The
the
regeneration
ability
is
to
way
build
more
from it.
impressive.
Like,
I like that. Mine, it's always been this way, but this also kind of segues into Daredevil. Teleportation. I've always been fascinated with that. But Daredevil, he's so sensitive, his skin's so sensitive, his hearing is, he can actually detect molecular level changes in the air around him. And there have been times where teleporters have tried to attack him, come next to him, and he can feel the change in the air before they get there and fuck them up upon immediate
see, but
impact.
to me, that's
Another
space-time.
reason I like about
Okay.
Daredevil. The teleport wet whiz.
Teleportation is space time. Is the ability to manipulate space time. So that, like, teleportation, spooky action and distance,
Sure.
quantum entanglement. You know what I mean?
Jinx.
Just the ability to
Yeah.
like matter exists and doesn't exist at the same time. That's a matter of space time. Does matter exist? Is it not? In what time frame? Be it from where? Is it copied
Fair
or
enough.
destroyed?
I'll give
Like,
you that, but I'm
so
still.
that's that same one. But that's where I was going with is like teleportation. You
Mhm.
can be anywhere, be anything at once, and never.
See, I
know.
wouldn't, and that would be the sacrifice. I wouldn't change times. It is whatever time it is where you are
Is it?
linearly.
Is it?
Is it?
Is
Is
it?
it? Vic,
Hold up. We're gonna need to pause because I need to juice up my comp.
you need to get
So
your
I-
charger.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. We can take a quick pause.
That's
This is
all
gonna be
right.
a fun. This might be our longest episode today. I'm cool with that, but I have to pee, so that's all right.
It's all right. Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
No, I got you.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, like preparing for potty.
No, you're good, you're good.
Wakanda
Like,
forever.
I'm just like, I'm to the point where it's gonna start decreasing the quality